What up, everybody? It's Andy from taptrade.io. If you haven't joined me before, you know that this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am simply someone who uses our tool known as THOR to navigate the markets. THOR is a proprietary trading indicator that has, on average, a 70% win rate on trading signals, and you can see all of the data live at taptrade.io/THOR. And that's as much of an intro as we got. I'm going to jump right into it. Markets are effing moving. We are looking at Bitcoin dancing around 109 right now. A lot of emotions come when you start seeing Bitcoin pump. That's the fun thing. And a lot of us that have been in the industry for a while, or even a part of this cycle alone, have been asking when alt season, when alt season, when alt season. In large part, we've seen Bitcoin price propped up with institutional investments. We haven't seen a ton of like retail FOMO right now. We haven't seen that, traditional part of a bull cycle for crypto after a halvening and after all of that good stuff that people like to predict around. I largely think that the 4-year cycle is maybe not dead, but definitely different. And that retail hasn't even been seen in large part for this cycle. I don't know when that happens, when we do get an alt season. But if you've been following along, I still think that we are underperforming in a lot of assets that we should be seeing some upward price action in. Ethereum still hasn't really had anything positive for it. And a lot of other coins still not really hitting past their all-time high. I don't want to talk about ethereal BS. I want to talk about getting to a trade as quickly as you can when you start saying, hey man, markets are moving. What the hell should I do? And that's really hard sometimes to get into if you don't know. Thankfully, we have this thing called THOR with some certainty can help you know a little bit better. I start every effing day in my own personal trading career by going into TapTrade and going to THOR. This is not a shill. I don't give a shit. This is the data that I trust, and this is the data that I've used to help me actually make money. Again, not financial advice. Bitcoin. Boom. With certainty, gonna check just to see if we're good at trading it. And then in the last 30 days, we've had an unreal 84% win rate on the 1 hour and 15-minute trading signals for THOR. That's awesome. Cumulatively, it's around our 70% threshold. Do we trade Bitcoin well? Traditionally speaking, yes, we do. Very well. That's where I'm gonna go right now when I'm feeling some type of way about that price action. I'm wondering, are we going to moon? Do we have resistance coming up? Do we need to take a short? Should I be taking profit? What the hell is going to happen? I'm going to go to my little, helpful friend called THOR and ask him. If you haven't logged into THOR before, up in the right-hand corner, boom, click THOR. It'll prompt you to log in. You have to have a Solana wallet. Click, log in, boom, and then this is where you'll land. It's going to look a little different for you, and if you don't know why or what, go and see some of my other videos. We're not going to talk about it. I got a lot of assets. I'm going to scroll up to Bitcoin. Boom. And let's see if we have signals. Why? Because I want to know how to navigate my emotions right now. Boom. Hey, thank you. Okay, cool. I'm sitting here now, and I think that this is invalidated if I'm not mistaken. There's like a little bit of a time lapse sometimes with signals. It's usually a little bit of a delay. No big deal. Go and check the price of Bitcoin first. Checked. 109, 166. These are invalidated. Systems have not updated yet. No big deal. And just for safe measure, you can always click refresh. And okay, go back to your asset. And all right, so not refreshed, no big deal. I know that these are off my radar and that this is right smack dab in my face. Ooh, we have a 4-hour. I think that's new. And no, those are invalidated too. All longs on Bitcoin just got invalidated. That means a thing. Now, where do we have to look at next? 103, 101, all of those invalidated. And the only signal that we have anywhere on our radar is 110 right here. Basically around where we're at right now. Now, I am going to look at the 1 hour signals and comfortably say this is a decent place for people that either have Bitcoin or want to take a short to do either of those things. I'm a big proponent of holding Bitcoin. I'm a big proponent of just building your Bitcoin stack over time. But this is the situations that present themselves where you do have an opportunity to say, hey, is this risk to reward worth it? Am I willing to risk this as my spot asset for the reward of being able to potentially buy more? It all depends on your own personal situation. It depends on where you're at in the markets, yada, yada, yada. I'm probably going to sell a small portion of my Bitcoin right here. Just nothing, nothing impactful. But more importantly, I'm going to trade that signal. And I'm going to walk through how I would trade that signal strictly as a perpetual trader. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't know exactly how much I want to show on my own personal accounts and such like that and yada, yada, yada. But fuck it. I don't have to update these if I don't want to. And so we'll just do trading. It should be fun. So this does put you on your tap trade vault. If you're sitting here looking at these negative numbers, that's what trading is. You average into accounts or average into positions, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk about the vault later. Who gives a fuck right now? Trade Bitcoin right now. Boom. Ooh, did we hit that wick? Ooh, we got so close. If you're trading on something like Hyperliquid, you are going to see the price between CoinMarketCap and Hyperliquid be different. These are actually traders. This is just a presentation of like compiled data. I want to see the exact entry point on that Bitcoin signal. 110.200 to 110.281. It's a super small spread, all things said and done. Let's see if we can go up and get to seeing it. Super tiny little range. Boom. 1 hour signal. Lots of momentum. What do? We got 14 people in here just listening right now. You can say frogs fuck if you say, man, fuck this signal. Soundboard. I don't want to make it too lame or anything like that, but just as like a basic play, are you bearish or bullish? Frogs fuck is your bullish, and air horn is your bearish.
Frogs fuck. Frogs fuck.
Okay, do you take this short? Frogs fuck for yes, Annie horn for nor. No. There's the indecision. There's
Frogs fuck.
All right, yeah, I'm with that one. I'm gonna take that short. I want to 100% take that short, and I'm gonna run myself maybe a 10x short right here. This is all outside of my own spot bags, everything like that, yada yada yada. You don't always have to get all complicated like I make it sometimes, and that's not meant to do anything other than be responsible with finances, and that's what you should be doing. Now, this is all me. This is my personal choices. This is my risk and reward and all that good shit. So, you don't or shouldn't be doing what I do. All right, let me log into my backpack real quick. And approve that. And we are established. Now, make sure you are legally, I don't know why I say this, do whatever you're going to do, but make sure you're legally able to trade, short, leverage, have a right licensure, live in a jurisdiction where it's not illegal, whatever. Don't get fucking in trouble, whatever. So I am limiting my leverage down hard. 10x on a short, given that you can go all the way up to 40x. Some people do that. That is just not for me. 10x is crazy leverage already. 10x is crazy leverage. That's a lot of leverage. Now, what your risk tolerances are, what your actual trading portfolio is like. I have 10K in this account right here. Pretty loud and proud. You know what I mean? That's not my entire bags. If that was my entire bags, I would probably trade much differently than I'm going to trade here. But I'm not going to fucking do that. Now, look at this. We're within $400 of that signal activating. Two things happen. It gets front run or it gets filled. If it gets front run, it looks like we hit that top right there. That happens. This is why I will break up orders sometimes over a small spread, a little bit in front of. But I don't think that that's done. I don't think we're done yet. I think that this is maybe a little fake out temporarily, and that we are going to go ahead and fill that wick, which is going to be up to here to here. We're so close to it. And I'm going to set my short right there. I got 10 grand in this account. Again, this could be, for all you know, just my short account, right? Maybe this is the only thing I fucking short with, and me putting a $10,000 short isn't really 1x leverage. It's just, whatever. Who knows? I'm going to try and be somewhat responsible, and we're going to do a 2x short. Now, I'm going to do a $20,000 short right there. With 10x on your account, let me move this back over. You can talk about your profit margin changing. And when you're looking at this tap signal or a THOR signal that only shows 2%, you amplify that 10x with 10x leverage. Makes effing sense, right? You don't have to be a mathematician. You put 21% on the table for your trade. You need to adjust your risk to reward because of that. You're now trying to make 20%. What are you willing to lose? Well, maybe I go a 1 to 2. Because at that point, I'm willing to lose 10% of that trade, whatever the margin's going to be on it, but I'm trying to make 21% on the trade, right? So, what's your margin for this call? Margin, $2,000. You put a 10% on there, you lose what? $200. All right? You put a 20% on that, you stand to make $400. Pretty simple math overall. You don't have to complicate it. So I'm at 20% of my account. I'm doing $2,000 on the short. I'm going to place my order right at, where am I at on this limit order? You don't just want to fucking market fire. Yeah, you can, whatever, if you're in a range for THOR, but you don't want to just go and fucking front run it because I haven't seen this fucking signal fill. And I'm going to put it on the low end of this. I'm going to be cutesy just for this. I'm going to do 10, 200. Boop. I'm going to break this back to 10,000. I'm going to show you just super simple, not fucking complicated. Take your spread. I got 10, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to put my take profit in right here. And I'm a TP1 kind of gal. Don't fucking care. And I'm going to just not make it complicated. I'm going to say 10, 7, 9. You can get down to the exact cent if you want to. You do not have to. I can even just say 10, 8. You can front run the take profit. It doesn't matter. If you're making money, you should be doing it comfortably. And for me, I will front run a signal, especially when I have leverage applied to it. I'm looking at the Discord class, but I should be over here. If I have leverage applied to it, your risk to reward's got to be straight up like bulletproof. You need to take your losses and lick your wounds just as much as you need to sit there and think you got the biggest dick in the trading room if you hit your 20x leverage position, right? So adjust your risk to reward and make sure you're good. I got 10, 800. I'm setting my, take profit at, let's just copy that directly. Pop it in, boom. I'm not going to do that. Let's just go ahead and put it on the right side of the trade. Cool. All right, right on. So I just worked my trade out. I'm sitting here wanting to trade Bitcoin because price is going all over the place. Timelines are bullish, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not saying that we're not going macro up right now. I do think that we have a lot of room to go up still, personally. But I'm not going to go ahead and disregard a short along the way to make some money and put it towards more Bitcoin if that's my underlying thesis, right? This is how you do it. 10%. I'm responsible. I have my responsible-ish leverage applied. I know what my risk to reward is. I'm going to do a 2 to 1 on this or a 1 to 2 on this. I'm willing to take my 10% loss to make my 20% gain. That is fucking good trading right there. I front ran just a touch, a couple doll hairs. Oh, not even a couple cents. That's where I'm going to comfortably set this. I'm placing that order. Boom. You can confirm it. Go ahead. You see your size. You see all that good stuff. You see the price that you're opening that at. Your liquidation price. I'm not setting a short for or a stop loss for this right now, but I will when we hop off here, just because I want to set my orders in case we get that wick up. Now, where am I at again? I wanted to go to the top of this range. And here's the other fun thing. Top of this range, $81. Could and will it blow past that? Probably. This is where that emotional BS gets into play. Hey, this is a great signal. Historically speaking, it's got a great percentile chance of winning. But why didn't it get the perfect entry? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know, I've now covered my bases. I set it in the very, very front of this signal range right here. We've put 50% of what we wanted in that trade, what I wanted in that trade for margin, which was $2,000. And boom. Now I can say I can watch the charts, or I can just set my other range. If you got time and you're trading 1 hour and 15-minute candles, watch the charts, bro. See what's going on. You know, don't adjust your plan aggressively. Don't be, you know, when you're losing as a trader is when you're sitting there, when your girlfriend, fiance, boyfriend, whatever the hell it is trying to have dinner with you and you can't pull yourself away from the charts. You're doing it wrong. That's what THOR is meant to help with. You can make money without doing that. I don't even know what I did over we had a diaper party with some of my friends. We smoked a pork butt. I finished getting a deck installed in my house. I did all of that. And at the same time, I had plans on 3 different Ethereum 15-minute signals, which is the exact same thing I'm doing here with Bitcoin. I just followed my risk to reward, and I made $5,000. And with that, I got work done to my house. I scheduled work to get done to my house. It's not a showboating thing. It's not a parade. I want to humanize this. This isn't just bullshit. Until you try it for your fucking self, you're never going to know that. So what I'm trying to do is encourage you to try it for yourself. So that's my Bitcoin play. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to set another call at the top of this range right here just to be safe. I'm going to probably go ahead and just say this is just like a comically small range. So who cares? You know, there you go. There's the price. I'm going to lever that down again. You know, there you go. Something like that. And boom, I'm going to place my order. So I've successfully put 75% of the capital I wanted to take on that trade in the market. Let's see if it gets filled. If it doesn't, boo-hoo, whatever. If it does, well, I got my plan, and I'm going to set my stop loss accordingly, and that's fucking that. That is as complicated as it has to be trading Bitcoin using THOR. Set your stop loss responsibly, come back to it. So that's all fun and good. Now I am going to switch it up a little bit, and I only said I'm going to do one asset a class from now on, but let's just see what's up with Ethereum. Just checking over here, just getting the lay of the land, and then let's go navigate to Ethereum. Order set over there. Look at that. That's beautiful. That was a good weekend. That was a good weekend of just taking THOR signals. I forgot that it would show on the screen, so I'm happy that it did. Yeah, it was fun. Great. Was it like entirely perfectly clean? No. We got a little pump pass, you know. That shit happens. You just stick to your guns. You stick to your risk to reward, and then there you go, man. That was a pretty bitchin' weekend overall. Anyways, so where are we at? What do we have on Ethereum? And then we're going to switch it up, and then we're going to do live trading. If anybody wants to in Discord, we're going to switch to THOR Pro, and we're just going to straight up find trades. But it's not going to be recorded. Okay, so ETH, 1 hour. I love to see it. I think that we're going to butt up against that invalidation level. If you're new to THOR, that can serve as resistance and validation levels on your longs. You got 4 hour signals lining up with the 1 hour signals. I love to see that. And then lo and behold, you got some shorts right at that resistance level. Not surprised to see that either. That took me 2 seconds to see. It could maybe take you a little longer. All I did was look at the time frames. Usually you can zoom out if you want. Boom, 25, boom, 23. Invalidation, 2616, 2616. Scroll down, 1. Same shit, same ranges, same invalidation levels, 2616. You switch to the most day trading time frame that you have. Lo and behold, why am I not surprised? You got a short right in front of resistance right there, and then you get your blow off if it goes above. So no big deal. 2 plans, 1 to 3, all the way up to 252. Again, this is where leverage is your friend. Y'all don't ever hear me talking like this. Y'all, I'm not just a boomer trader. You know, like that's what I really encourage people to start as. And it can make a shit ton of money. But still, here's a 13% with 10x leverage. But again, your losses are on the table too if you apply leverage. You just got to be aware of that. I'm not going to take anything other than maybe this right here. You front run the resistance just a touch. I probably won't even hold all the way to this right here just because the markets are fucking moving. If Bitcoin cools off, if we get the liquidity shift into alts, it's what everyone's been waiting for. The theory's always been, hey, it happened already, you dipshits. It happened with the meme coin craze. I do not think that that was the retail mania that we've expected or seen in previous cycles, and that it's just not there yet. I still don't think FOMO's kicked in. I still don't think that we've had a pure alt season. I still think Bitcoin's got more left in the tank. So that's my own personal bias here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing anything to tell me otherwise still. There is still no signals anywhere else on the board that have these big, oh shit levels of pullbacks. Nothing on Bitcoin macro, and same on Solana. Let's just look at Solana real quick and then we're going to wind down. Bitcoin on the 1 day. We got one short right here. That's where we're still dancing around. Still haven't hit take profit on that. Get that. Let's see what happens. But that's still it. So, anyways, bearish or bullish, it doesn't really matter. Thor signals can help you navigate either way. If you want to learn more, you can visit us at taptrade.io. Join us in Telegram, join us in Discord, come to the trading classes, keep watching, and if you really like what you're seeing, hit subscribe button. We're going to start switching to really trading focused, not so much conversational crap moving forward. It's what do I do in the markets? Bitcoin's 109K. I've got my shorts set personally. Excited to see what y'all do. Happy trails. Good fucking trading. Whatever it is that you need to say to yourself to be a good trader. What I say to myself is, hey man, use Thor. And that's what I'm going to go do now. So have fun. Peace out. See y'all next time. Later.